What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another live stream from the brand doctor himself and my man, always Koreshi from the Visual Q. What's shaking, my dude? Looking handsome
What's
as
going on?
always.
Likewise, man. Thank you. How was your Easter weekend?
It was awesome, dude. I can't wait to get into today's topic of conversation. We're talking about 10 reasons why high ticket sales, high ticket services suck. And you're probably thinking, here's a guy that loves to talk about this conversation, loves to have high ticket services, and preaches from the mountaintops that high ticket is the way to go for anything. Yet I'm here talking to you today about why high ticket sales suck. So here's some things that I want to pay attention to today. So everybody thinks high ticket is the best thing since sliced bread, including myself. However, when it comes to designing a high ticket offer, there are some things I learned over the past 7 years of selling high ticket services and changing my whole pricing and business model to higher ticket that I had to learn the hard way. And I want to talk to you about a lot of that today because you can't just throw a big price tag on something and think that your work is over or there is nothing else that needs to be done. So before we get into designing a high ticket program, I want you to start to think about some of these considerations, because if you forget or you overlook, it could come back and bite you horribly in the future. And I don't want to see that happen to you. So I'm going to give you a lot of the hard lessons I learned over the past 7 years today in this one video, right after this quick little message. If you're a business owner who feels your branding isn't truly representing the value that you deliver, check out this free video training that will help you level up your brand's messaging and online presence so that you can start attracting higher quality clients. Visit www.uniquedesigns with a Z at the end, not an S, .net/level up my branding. All right, always, let's get into reason number one to consider.
Yeah, your reputation is at stake. And what I mean by that is if they don't trust you, if you have no credibility, how are you going to command a high ticket price? Right? So you have to be able to leverage, or you have to be able to make sure that you have a good digital footprint. I was literally this morning, I was on a call with a client and I'm telling them, I was like, look, you just don't have enough reviews. And this particular business owner is a little bit averse to the idea of his clients boasting about him for whatever reason.
Interesting.
You know, everyone comes from a different sort of a mindset. And so I said, how is this going to be serving your business? And how is this going to help you get to that desired business outcome that you have in mind that we talked about before you started engaging me?
Interesting.
One of the things is, and again, they sell high ticket products. So I asked him, I was like, look, if people can't validate you and your products through other people's experiences, how are they going to be able to trust and say, okay, well, you know what, I want to be able to purchase from this person.
Yeah.
I want to be able to spend $10,000, $20,000 with this person. How's that going to happen?
Yeah, it's not. That's what's going to happen. It's
There you go.
not going to
Exactly.
happen.
A high ticket offer, yeah.
You're
High
left
ticket
high and
offer,
dry.
a deal, yeah. And so you got to be able to make sure that you have a good digital footprint that asserts that you are commanding that high ticket price through these whether it be through your social media positioning, through others client experiences, success stories, all of those components.
Your network.
Your network.
Your network of people that you
Absolutely.
surround yourself with. That's a whole nother, that's a topic for another day. But what about focusing in on user experience? That's one thing that's really could help or hinder your user experience, your reputation, because people are going to say, well, this is how he made me feel, or this is how she made me feel as I gone through their process. How many things that you paid for that was very expensive that you did not enjoy? Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
I will say that right now, man. So this is a high quality printer that you spend thousands of dollars, and my clients have spent thousands of dollars myself,
Mhm.
and for some reason, lately they just have not been getting it right,
Yeah.
and it hasn't been the best experience to even place an order. There's
Mm.
way too many steps, and yeah, I mean, what you're referring to is essentially customer experience
Yeah.
from beginning to how easy is it for someone to purchase from you?
That and what are they going to feel as they go through that journey,
Yeah,
right?
you got
The
to
next
remove
thing,
that friction.
right? The next thing that you need to pay attention to when it comes to high ticket selling and why high ticket sales sucks is longer sales cycles. It is just what it is. I was at a Yankees game last week and I was talking to one of my friends who sells parts for machinery, big parts. We're talking about big machines, right? It's $1 million. One sale. We're talking these parts cost, right? And he was like, sometimes it takes a year for me to close a deal. I've gone months without new clients, right? So understanding that will have you think to yourself, well, is this something I want to get into? Or do I want cash coming in frequently? I don't care if it's a lot, but I'd rather have it coming in the door more often than these longer sales cycles. Something that you have to pay attention to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me another one, Oasis.
All right, so of course, as a result of all of this, you're not going to have as many clients showing up to your doorstep. You're not going to have as much prospects showing up to your doorsteps. And essentially, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be feeding at the bottom of the barrel
Mm-hmm.
and just taking whatever you can get. And they're going to be less in numbers, and you're not going to be able to qualify
Right.
properly.
So what you have to do is better qualify, right? And have some sort of utility to have them qualify themselves.
Yeah,
Right? That's
right.
what we need to do. Is a lot of times, oh no, I'm just going to sell this and it's going to be an easy sell because no, you have to really pay attention to the qualification process and
Exactly.
help people either qualify themselves or disqualify themselves in order to get the right clients coming through, paying the dollar that you want them to pay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and think about some of the sales site or some of the sales exercises that Henry and I have gone through on this live stream,
Mhm.
and both of us have come up with specific objections. If you don't know anything about those objections, well, then how are you going to be able to counter those?
Exactly. Again, another whole
Another whole
topic
another
for another
topic,
video,
exactly.
right? What about like sales droughts, right? So this is a little different than sales cycle, right? When I mean sales droughts, I mean you may get a couple big deals come in and then you don't see anything for the next few months, right? And one of the things that I suffered terribly over was not planning my finances accordingly and running it very, very close to fumes. And then I have cash flow issues. It sucks.
Yeah,
But I now learn how to manage my finances. And when I get a $75,000 deal, I don't go below 20 of it, 50 of it, 60 of it like I used to, because you just never know.
mhm,
So managing your finances, managing the projects that do come in, and delegating different allocations for that money is so important. Put a little away for
absolutely.
tax, put a little away for marketing, put a little away for operations, put a little away for maybe gear. You know, uh, those are some of the things that you really got to pay attention to
Yeah,
when it comes to high ticket sales, is those sales droughts.
absolutely. A good book to refer to is Profit First.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
great book.
a really good book.
Mike
So
McAllowitz, right?
Mike Michalowicz, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All right, give me another one, Oasis. Another reason why high ticket sales suck, and something that you gotta pay attention to.
oh, I love this one. You don't have a solid back end process.
No, no.
So
Well,
you
you need one.
still,
You need
yeah,
one.
you need one exactly. And so, I mean, again, up till now, let's say everything has been effective. You
Mhm,
got them in the door. What's going to happen to your brand reputation if you're unable to fulfill on your commitments, on your promises?
mhm. You're gonna look
Yeah,
stupid.
you're going to look stupid. And essentially, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be going back. And personally, this has happened to me, where you're going in and trying to fill the gaps. Things are falling through the cracks, right? You're getting flustered.
Mhm.
Your entire project has now gone off the rails, and you're trying to create fixes. Its length of delivery has gone much longer than what was anticipated, right? And now you're not even able to go and capture additional opportunities that are out there in the marketplace,
Yeah.
right? You're hamster wheeling.
Mm. That's a lovely feeling. Let me tell you. When you're running 50 miles an hour on a treadmill, not going anywhere
Yeah,
like that, that's what a back end, not having a back end process. So when you're selling high ticket, you have to make sure that you have some sort of back end system. So that's where you're leveraging tech like Monday.com or Basecamp, some sort of CRM or project management software to help that process support itself. You know, eh, I've been there and got the t-shirt where I had so many clients at one point where my back end process was not sustainable any longer and shit was falling through the cracks. And you know what? That led to refunds, it led to chargebacks, it led to bad reviews, it led to horrible things that I would never. I was saying to myself, why are you doing this to yourself? And then you wake up and realize, well, if you want to stay in business, you got to get your shit together.
exactly.
Right? Especially if you want to sell whatever you're selling at a premium. That back end process needs to be buttoned up. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with your pants. You're going to be caught with your pants down, and that's going to be
Yeah.
a big problem. All right, give me another reason.
All right. Again, you're not positioned properly.
Mm,
You need to be positioned properly, right?
mm,
So brand yourself correctly and make sure that you're standing apart from your competitors.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know why or how this has been on my mind so often, and I think it was just around this whole cookie cutter branding idea.
Mm,
That I was at this networking event about 2 weeks ago. There were about 5 or 6. I don't even want to call them competing agencies because, and I don't mean to be cocky about this, man, but you know, if we were to go and pull up, let's not put them on the spot, poor guys. Um, if we were to pull up their websites and go through their own websites, but then also go through their work,
mm,
you would see the example of cookie cutter branding
mm,
because it's like all of their work looks alike, all of their messaging sounds alike.
mhm.
How are their clients going to stand apart from their competitors?
Yeah, yeah. We
Right?
make X for Y. I mean, if you
Yeah,
go to any of these websites these days, that's the thing. It's like we make X for Y people, right? That is the laziest website
yeah,
copy I've ever seen, right? Get creative. Put some point of view behind that message.
absolutely. Yeah, put some personality behind it. But really get it to represent the founders
Well, here's the big
or
question,
represent the
right?
people. Yeah,
How can somebody sell the same projects that we're selling for $250,000 base, right?
base. Yeah,
Right? Where we sell the same exact project for 60, 70 grand.
that's true.
How? Well, look at their past client roster. Look at their network. Look at how clear their message is. Look how they're positioned. I see a lot of these. Look at the guy Ryan. What's his name? Ryan Stewman,
Mm,
the hardcore closer. I haven't heard or seen him in a long time. I don't follow him anymore. But this guy was commanding these big speaking prices, right, for speaking engagements,
mhm.
and he was getting them because he had himself positioned. He's the high ticket guy. He's the high
Wow.
ticket closer, right? So of course he's going to command a higher price,
Yeah.
and people were paying it. That's the key, right? So if you're not positioned properly, you can't go out there and start selling a high ticket thing.
Absolutely.
So very, very, very important
Yeah.
here. Another reason why high ticket sales suck. Well, people are a hell of a lot more skeptical when it's a higher ticket because there's way more on the line. So what do you got to do? You got to give them reasons to believe. And I think that's where a lot of clients, of mine, prior to coming through the Brand Accelerator program, either they just don't know what they don't know, or they're doing it very lazily. And that's going to hurt your bottom line, because without those reasons to believe, those RTBs, that level of skepticism is always going to be greater. And when that is greater than the belief of them seeing the value in what it is that you do, you're dead. You're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this comes back down to how often and how effectively are you speaking and listening to your clients, to your customers, right? If you know what they care about, you will be able to speak to that.
Yeah.
And then I mean, why should they care?
That's the thing. So visualization is another big thing that I think we lack. There needs to be more of when it comes to selling high ticket. I was just having a conversation with my client earlier today. I was explaining to him, when you go into a site visit or a site assessment, right? He goes into a backyard and he's laying out the land, and he can see things better than other people, than the homeowners themselves when he's scoping out the landscape. Saying something to me would have had me closed in 13 seconds. Like, imagine the birthday parties you can have for your 4-year-old son once this thing is done. Or imagine the birthday parties you can have throughout the years for your son, your wife, your dad on this thing once we get it built. Right away, I'm like, how soon can it be done? Right? Creating that visual for the person eliminates that skepticism.
Yeah.
Because now you're painting that picture for them. You have to, this is what Peter Butler says, you have to ask and answer the questions. What does my audience need to know, understand, and believe before they want to do business with me? Yeah, it's a great question. It's a great question. Appreciate that.
I love that. Yeah.
Okay. Another reason why high ticket sales suck.
Got to create more content and quality content, something that is relatable.
That's it. Listen, I can tell you this. When I do brand assessments with clients and I ask them, what made you book this assessment? Or brand accelerator clients, what made you invest into this program? Well, Henry, I've been watching your videos for the past 3 months, and you said something in this video that was talking about X, and you said Y, and that's the thing that pushed me over the top. Yeah. Well, what if I was inconsistent? What if I didn't show up every Monday and Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern and gave it to you like this? I'd be out of sight, out of mind, right? So yes, for those folks that don't like creating content, it's going to suck because you're going to have to create more of it to build the trust, to build the rapport, to build the consistency. If you don't want to do it, then don't sell high ticket. You don't have to.
How many times has it worked in my favor and I actually became very intentional about creating content, especially when I know that there are clients that are in the consideration phase that I know are watching and following me. Mm-hmm. And so if I had some sort of a conversation with them, or I know I'm about to have a conversation with them, I have put out a very targeted post. They don't know that it's targeted towards them, but I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just going to come back and say,
Did you ever get frustrated with a business scenario and you went out and put out a piece of content hoping that that person that you referring to watches it or sees it?
oh, yeah.
It's so easy to create that kind of content because it's like you're speaking to one person
Oh,
that
yeah.
you got your fingers crossed that they're going to see it, right?
Exactly.
Do it all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get them and they were like, was that last post meant for me? And I'm like, no.
Hey, I
No,
did that last week with the blindfolded marketing.
like, no, I'm just, that was, so, but that's when you know it hits.
It
right?
does.
That's when you know it hits. Okay. Another reason why high ticket sales suck is this. They are a hell of a lot more taxing on your time and resources.
Mm.
Okay. People are going to want more one-on-one with you. At least this is my experience. I can't speak for everybody. But when people pay me top dollar, they want me. They don't want my assistant. They don't want my design team. They don't want, and this is the struggles that I had to go through until I finally said, okay, I have to delegate this out, these other areas of my business.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not going to be any good to you. And so it's going to force you to scale your team and to scale your resources and to allocate your time better, right? If you don't want to do that, then don't sell high ticket. It's not worth it. Stay small, stay a one-man band, and just keep doing what you're doing because it will eventually catch up to you. You're not going to be designer, consultant, bookkeeper. You're not going to be all of these things to your business and do it well. And that's going to be a huge, huge hinder to the growth and to the success of your business. Okay. So I think we're at number 10. Okay.
Number 10.
Those were 9 reasons why high ticket sales suck. And listen, it may not suck for some people because some people would love to do some of the solutions that we provided today. Great. Then this is a perfect video for you to say, you know what? High ticket sales are for me. I need to build out a stronger, more fluid high ticket offer for my business or expand upon the one I already have. Great. The last reason why high ticket sales suck is because you need to complete at least one cycle of results before you can go to market. What do I mean by that? I'll give you the perfect scenario. Russell Brunson was doing this years and years and years ago. This is why he got, what's his name? Drew Canoli. He's a big guy. He owns a company called Organifi. Big business. He went to Drew Canoli. I think it was like year 1 of ClickFunnels and was like, dude, I think I can help you sell more shakes or whatever the hell he was, supplements, whatever the hell he was selling, right? And Drew was like, all right. And Russell was like, I'm not going to charge you a dime. I'm just going to build your funnel. I'm going to do all this stuff for you. And if we get a result, then I'm going to use it as a testimony and you got to give me a whole bunch of testimony. And they went to work and it took a couple of months, but Russell starts getting them crazy results. Now you got Drew Canoli, one of the biggest names in that niche, saying Russell Brunson saved the day, right? That is the best way to sell a high ticket program in the beginning. If you don't want to go through that first cycle of putting in all of that work and labor and equity, then don't do it. Go find a cheaper option to sell so you don't have to create all of that result, right? All of that work. I'll give you another quick example. How do you think, I just had this conversation with another business partner of mine. So you guys know that I'm rolling out this new business with celebrity chef Fabio Viviani. You're going to hear way more of it in May because that's when the official launch is going to take place. But me and I went to go visit Fabio in one of his new restaurants in New York City. I brought my family with me. We're shooting the shit. We're having dessert. We're having coffee. And he sits down next to me and says, I really want to create this supper club. You know, I kind of do a a version of it now, but I want to create something I have in my head for all this time, but I just don't know how to build it. I don't know how to make it sexy. I don't know how to design it, this and that. And I said, dude, this is what I do. And it's a high ticket thing. The lowest membership is $10,000. The highest membership is $15,000. Wow. And I said, dude, I would love to help you build this. And he goes, well, how much is it going to be? I know you're not cheap. And I said, I know it's probably going to be like a $60,000, $70,000 thing. And he said, how about I make you my partner? How about you and I build this together? And I just give you equity in the business, 20% equity in the business.
Not bad.
Top line revenue, top line,
not bad,
not bottom line, top line. And we're going to do 250 memberships and then cap it off there. How does that sound? And I go, done, deal. That is going to be almost 5x of what he would have paid me out had he just engaged my services.
That's right.
Making me partner is completely on a different level. I wasn't ready for that, but when he said it, it was an offer I couldn't refuse. Felt like I was in The Godfather, and I did it. But so him and I, right now, we've been doing this now. I would say we've been prepping. We built the website and created the logo, and we're doing all this collateral on the behind the scenes here. You see me on my Instagram. I'm posting some stuff about it. This is all that first cycle of result that I'm trying to create for him, with him, so that when we go to actual market next year, and I can show people how I built this business to $2.5, $3, $5 million. Yes, I'm getting a cut of the percentage of business, and I become a partner with him. That's how I'm getting paid. But what if I sucked? Right? What if I didn't produce the result?
Yeah.
Right?
You wouldn't have gotten that opportunity.
Never. Yeah. So that's something that I want you guys to pay attention to. If you're going to sell something high ticket, put in that first cycle of result work. Whether you have to do it for free or you have to create some sort of strategic partnership with somebody and put in that sweat equity up front to get the big return on the back end, then do it and watch what happens. So I've known Fabio for years, probably 6 years now. So I know he's a good guy. I wouldn't necessarily do this with a stranger or somebody that came to me and said, Henry, I heard a lot about you. You sound really good. I'm not going to pay you, and I'll just give you part of the business. And I didn't know them. I wouldn't do that deal in a million years. That's like marrying somebody on the first date and meeting them for the first time that weekend. I'm not doing that deal. So make sure that you pay attention to the sales cycle. I'm sorry, not the sales cycle, but that cycle of result that needs to take place before you can go out there, because you need the proof. That, again, Peter says it the best, look at their proof. That's what they're looking for. So if you want help when it comes to building your high ticket offer, and you want to avoid these mistakes, and you want to build something that's going to last, that's going to sell, that's going to help you look good online, so that you can go out there and sell more of this and eventually raise your price where you're charging 10x of what you're starting. Let's have a conversation. Book the brand assessment with me right now before the price goes up. Right now it's $499, and by the end of this week, it's going to be $1,000. Okay. 1, I'm getting too many of them and it's clogging up my calendar. 2, the world is telling me that this is way worth more than $500. So between now and I'm going to say Wednesday, if you book, you'll get it for $499. If not, you'll get it for $1,000. And you and I sit down and we map out the plan of attack on how to structure a real strong high ticket offer for your business, so you don't make the same damn mistakes I did as I was building my high ticket offer and helping others build theirs. So I got to run away because I got a 2:30. So I'll see you guys Wednesday. Have an amazing day. Let us know your biggest takeaway. Screenshot this, tag me on Instagram. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was. And we'll be back here Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern for another great live stream. Have an amazing day, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one real soon. Take care. go.